Hello dear students, good morning everyone. This is the third lecture related to class 11 physics, second chapter, that is kinematics. And in today's lecture we will discuss about the concept of vectors. That is very important and conceptual terms which will be used always in solving many numericals regarding physics. Let's see the concept of vectors. Vectors generally the concept of physical quantity having magnitude and direction both. Vector means magnitude and direction both. But for representing vectors we have to use alphabet with arrowhead, just like force, representing F alphabet and arrow head on it. This is representing what? Force, and this one representing electric field, and suppose you are going to represent what? Area vector. Area vector. There are so many terms, and displacement, and so on. Area here having some confusing word. Area how becomes vector, then there is a special concept. When you just magnitude of area multiplying with the unit vector that is going upwards, or you say that just perpendicular to the surface of area or normal to the surface of area, then that concept is what? Area vector. About area vector you will see in your upcoming class, that is in class 12, what is the concept of area vector. So just after this explanation about vector and its composition is for direction and magnitude, the types of vector. Mainly two types: polar vectors and number first polar vector, and number second axial vectors. Clear? Very simple concept. Polar vectors and number second axial vectors. Polar vectors, the vectors whose initial point is fixed and pointed towards any other direction. But in axial vectors, the vectors which are acting or which are representing the rotational effect and acting along the axis of rotation accordance with right hand screw rule. The concept of axial vector, let's see here. Polar vector, very easy concept. Suppose this is a vector A, starting point is fixed and direction of application also fixed from left to right, and the axial vector in this way. This is the concept of axial vector, and direction here on account of right hand rule. When the vector representing upward, then direction of rotation means what? According to right hand rule, that is in anti-clockwise. anti-clockwise. Rotation. And when the vector direction is downward, vector direction is in downward, in this way. Then the effect of rotation will be just like in this way, that is in clockwise direction. See, clockwise direction. Clear? Very simple concept. That is right hand screw rule. When you just rotate the screw in clockwise, then the movement of screw will be in downwards, and when you just rotate the screw in anti-clockwise direction, then the movement of screw will be in upward direction. That's why here the concept of axis vector or axial vector this one also axial vector and then after axial vector the concept of vectors having few more definitions: equal vectors, I would say that negative vectors, and parallel vectors. Equal vector means those two vectors whose magnitude is equal, and negative means the vectors A if acting in east and if vector B acting in west, then both are negative vectors. It means one vector direction just opposite to the other vector direction, then both the vectors are said to be what? Polar, not polar, negative vectors. And co-initial vectors, the vectors whose initial point is fixed. Coplanar vectors, all those vectors which are lying in the same plane. And localized, whose initial point is fixed. Non-localized, whose initial point is not fixed. So lot of concept about vectors that is given in your book, and you just read one time. If any confusion, then you can ask. And then after this, the very important concept, addition of vector. I will explain. Just note down first of all this one. In addition of vectors, the concept that is very important, only two. Number one, geometrical method, and number two, analytical method. Just see, addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. First, geometrical method. And number two, analytical method. Analytical method. In geometrical method, let's see, if two vectors are acting in same direction, vector A and vector B, acting in same direction, vector A and vector B acting in same direction, then the resultant will be also in the same direction, but vector B just adjust at the head of vector A. This is B. So representing this what? A plus B. And you can erase this one. This is vector A plus B. Clear? In this way, when both the vectors acting in same direction, then the resultant just simply add up. In the sense, by keeping the tail of vector B to the head of vector A, this is representing what? A plus B. Suppose two vectors acting in different direction, and here it means what? Acting at an angle theta. Then what we have to adjust? For this one vector A and this one vector B. Then we have to first draw what? Vector A in this way, and then add the head of vector A we have to construct what? Vector B, and the condition is what? The angle is same in this way. This is what? Vector B, and here the angle is same as theta in between A and B. Clear? Then after this, for getting A plus B, draw a line from the tail of vector A. Tell me this one point. A vector representation very simple. Suppose this is a vector, and here this is what? Initial point, and here this is the end point. This is what? Head, and this is tail. And the length of this one, suppose length representing by what? A. This is vector A. Length here. This one representing magnitude. The length of this vector representing the magnitude of the vector. So in case of addition, after adjusting vector B at the head of vector A, we will draw a line initiating from tail of vector A to the head of vector B in this way. Yes, A plus B. This is what? Representing by also R. And if this point is representing by O, then this one gives the resultant of two vectors at angle whenever two vectors are acting. So this is the geometrical method, very easy method, and on this concept we are just going to derive a formula, that is vector addition of two vectors by analytical method, that is by second analytical method. So just all these, note down, very simple concept. In analytical method, suppose two vectors A and B are acting at an angle theta. Triangle law and parallelogram law, two law, very important and very familiar law. I will explain the parallelogram law, and the triangle law will be the part of parallelogram law, because in one concept you will understood what? Two importance of vector addition. Clear? So analytical method here, parallelogram law of vector addition. Suppose two vectors are representing by two adjacent sides of parallelogram. Two vectors are representing by two adjacent sides of parallelogram in this way. This is O, A, and this is what? B. Suppose this is vector P, this is vector Q. Clear? Two vectors P and Q are representing by their adjacent sides. By the two adjacent side of parallelogram, vector P and vector Q. Then after completing the parallelogram in this way, this is also Q, and this one will be P. When the parallelogram completed, and if these two vectors acting at an angle theta, then this one angle will be what? Also theta. Then how to find out the resultant of these two vectors? If P and Q, two vectors, are acting at an angle theta at a point, then how the resultant of these two vectors can find out? So just see, draw perpendicular from B to extended line, that is here C, and this one D, and then join O to B. O to B, then this one is representing what? Resultant. R is equal to A plus B. Just by a geometrical concept, from the tail of vector A to the head of vector B, representing A plus B, that is also here denoting by what? Vector R. So we have to calculate what? Magnitude of two vectors, magnitude of resultant of two vectors. Let's see, very easy concept, how to calculate the magnitude of resultant of two vectors. Here, this is what? Vector Q magnitude, and here P, the length of this one will be what? P, and length of this one will be Q, from this point to this point, A to C. As P and Q are two vectors acting at an angle theta, acting at an angle theta, then by trigonometry this one will be, suppose this one Q and this one theta, then base upon hypotenuse is equal to cos theta, base upon hypotenuse equal to what? Cos theta, and base here AC and hypotenuse Q is equal to cos theta, so AC is equal to Q cos theta. Clear? AC is equal to Q cos theta, and then perpendicular upon hypotenuse, perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to what? Sin theta. Perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to sin theta, then perpendicular, that is BC, and hypotenuse what? Q is equal to sin theta, then BC is equal to Q sin theta. These two concepts we will use directly. Now in triangle OBC, this is the right angle triangle. Let's see how to calculate the resultant of two vectors. Very simple concept. You just see everything, then will be clear. In right angle triangle OBC, by Pythagoras property, or by Pythagoras theorem, OB square, that is hypotenuse k square, is equal to what? OC square plus BC square, and OC here what? OA plus AC, OA plus AC का square plus BC का square, and OA means that is P, and AC means there Q cos theta, the square, and BC means what? That is Q sin theta का square. Clear? And then after this is here R square. So after expanding A plus B square, that is P square plus Q square cos square theta plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square sin square theta. Then you see rearranging these two terms, then Q square common, in bracket cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2PQ cos theta. Clear? And here the concept of cos square theta plus sin square theta, you all are knowing, that is 1. So P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Then the result, that is R is equal to, let's see, R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. And then after this, R is equal to square root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the formula for magnitude of resultant of two vectors. Clear? Just note down. After this, I will explain about the angle or inclination, at which angle the resultant is acting with vector P. Very simple, that is tan beta. For angle we have to calculate what? Tan beta is equal to BC upon OC. BC upon OC. And the concept of BC, that is here. BC means Q sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. That is the OC concept here, representing what? P plus Q cos theta, not A plus B. P plus Q. P plus Q cos theta. Clear? So tan beta is equal to Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. And then after these two calculation, there are special cases, and just see what is the concept of special cases. Very easy concept. In special cases, first resultant, when theta is equal to 0 degree, when theta is equal to 0 degree, then cos 0 1, then p square plus q square, p square plus q square plus 2p q is equal to p plus q whole square, is equal to p plus q. Clear? And angle tan beta is equal to q sin 0. Sin 0 means what? 0. It means the resultant acting along the same direction as the direction is what? A and direction of B. Because both are in the same direction, then the resultant will be what? Also in the same direction. And second case, when theta is equal to 90 degree, then R is equal to cos 90 0, so p square plus q square, and tan beta is equal to, that is q upon p, cos 90 by 0, so q upon p. Beta is equal to tan inverse q upon p. So in this way we can discuss any one case either at 480 degree or at 270 or 360 nanometer. At any angle value we can calculate the value of either resultant of two vectors or the direction of resultant with the vector, that is p here. And then after this, some important concepts are remaining in vectors. I will explain in second part of the third lecture. So that's all for today. Have a nice day.